legends, pure of heart and awakened by fury.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're going to be talking about the ending of Chapter 82, where we're headed in Chapter 83 and beyond. I'm joined by UnrealEntGaming. At the very end of Chapter 82, what we've seen here is that Gas is on his way back to the battlefield, and what we know is we have 20 Earth minutes to spare, and we're trying to figure out exactly as to how Goku is going to defeat him and how he's going to figure out how to defeat him in that time, mainly through Bardock's memories, the Scouter's audio recordings, and trying to figure out what did Bardock do all those years ago, 40 plus years ago, to defeat Gas, and where it's going to head from there. So what we do know is that Goku has been fighting with his Saiyan will, as Gas had mentioned, and what we do also know is that Gas has had some deep experiences where he's been shamed and ridiculed, and he did lose that fight before. So I want to hear your take on this, Alex. Where do you think they're going to go with this? How do you think they're going to organize this fight, and how long is it going to last for?
I think that this is going to be it. I mean, this should be it because they've been fighting a long time, and I've mentioned this many times over. If you're not going to allow for Vegeta and Goku to work together, which I think is the best approach, this would have been so much more, more impactful of a battle to see Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego fight against the strongest, because if this guy truly is the strongest warrior in Universe 7, as a proxy from the Wish, then it should make sense to kind of see the strongest, right, go up against two of the, secondary strongest in that case. And I think that if we don't see Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct together fighting against him, then I think the only other option that we have right now is UI Goku versus Gas, which I think is bound to happen, especially based off of what Whis was talking about, seeing all of like the foreshadowing from how Whis had mentioned for Goku to kind of use and hone Ultra Instinct in his own, unique little way. And it's interesting because at this current point in time, anything can happen, and I think that what is bound to happen involving the two is going to be Gas coming back. He's going to be pissed off, he's going to be embarrassed. He has that point to prove because he lost to Bardock, and even just Alec, but based on, how he's treating his brother, he's calling him an idiot. He's really upset because he did mention to Gas several times, and he gaslit him, no pun intended. He gaslit him several times. He kind of insinuated that, I'll do anything for my little brother. Like, you're coming off very condescending, and I think the fandom already sees that. So with Alec coming off very condescending, and with Goku even bringing up interesting points to suggest, hey, so can you really trust your brother? Like, can you really go that far to honor him even, after kind of, showcasing, some of his demeanors and mannerisms to come off like very condescending? Gas has that loyalty towards his brother, but he also has so much to prove after essentially embarrassing the Heaters by losing to Bardock. So I think that if we're not going to see, anything else, Granola, Vegeta, and Goku working together, then I think the best option to that right now is to have MUI Goku fight Gas. And yes, have him beat Gas, because if you want to go into like a different kind of territory involving Granola, then I still stand by the idea that Granola should be the one to kill Alec, because Alec killed his mother. So it doesn't make any sense for Vegeta to beat Alec. It doesn't make any sense for Goku to beat Alec. It should be Granola, because Alec is the big baddie. He's the, head shot caller, so it should be him. But in terms of Gas, if Granola's in no condition to fight, even though he is the second strongest, according to the Wish, then it should be Goku. It should be Goku because of the history that Gas has with fighting Bardock. And I think that it would only then kind of, just give us a little bit more clarity, and especially for Gas to lose not only to the father, but also to the son, that says a lot. And I think that at some point, we're bound to see Gas lose, and when he does, I promise you this, Alec is going to make his true intentions known. He's probably going to disown his brother by being like, you've always been weak. First you lose to his dad, then you lose to him. Like, what kind of brother are you? Like, you're just an embarrassment. You're a disgrace. You're no fit to be a Heater clan member. Like, he kind of banishes him, and how crazy would it be if he doesn't end up killing him, but Gas ends up kind of flipping on Alec at the end, helps out Goku and these guys, get some leverage on, his brother. Like, there's a lot you could do right now, but I think as a proxy, we're bound to see Alec disown him and just kind of betray him after seeing that he eventually loses to Goku, because why not? He entrusted him to beat Bardock, lost. He entrusted him to beat Goku and everybody else, lost. So at that point, it's like, what use, what kind of use do you have for me anymore if you're just gonna lose? You know what I mean?
Definitely. And we've seen a lot of his inexperience, especially in chapter 82, where he's taking this walk of shame, like I said, 20 Earth minutes to get back to the battlefield. And after everything we just saw, they kind of goofed him up a bit. And all of the prisoners even said, like, this kid used to piss his pants. So if this is what he's got on the inside, where he still probably has that haunting him, he's got something to prove. He's going to rush back into that battle where Goku's over there powering up from the memories, figuring out how to defeat him and get his ass beat. And from there, I also agree with you. The seeds have been planted for Elect to kind of betray him, similar to the way Goku was kind of talking about Raditz. That foreshadowing is already there. The groundwork is there. So him being inexperienced, him losing to the father-son combination, and like you said, even Granola probably having the one to being the one to kill Elec, I feel as though that's what's going to happen. So with that being said, I feel as though Gas is just too inexperienced. This fight's going to end up either ending in the next chapter, the one after that, because he's kind of dragged on a bit long here with Gas and everybody else fighting him. Goku tapping into UI, ultimately being his own version of it, which I feel as though that's what I need to see, some kind of new transformation, combining and showing Saiyan power plus UI in his own way, the way Whis kind of said that out loud. So whatever Bardock does, whether it be a visual transformation, whether it be some kind of deep-rooted Saiyan ability in there, him combining that with UI would probably be the best thing, because we've already seen him do it with Super Saiyan Blue. So him doing that again with whatever they see with Bardock in this next chapter, this flashback, is probably going to be the key. And like you said, him losing to both the father-son combo, he's probably going to get disowned, and we're going to see Elec's true intentions, and probably him maybe even getting a power-up and taking this battle even further, and Granola being the one to defeat him most likely makes the most sense. But there is a missed opportunity here, like you said, with Ultra Ego and MUI not fighting along side by side. But I mean, the stage has been set for it to be the father-son type of battle, because there's so much history here, 40 plus years, and a lot of this has already centered around Goku right now, with him remembering who he is and figuring out where is this power going to come from. So what do you think is going to happen after that, you say, after this battle?
Well, I mean, that really depends on what happens to Gas and what happens to Granola. If Gas dies, then I could see something happening where, you know, Elec also dies. But I don't know about Maki and Oil are interesting because, I mean, they follow their brothers, so they are cheerleaders, but they're not, I mean, they're only doing what's best for the clan. So I don't know about them. I don't see them dying. I mean, I think it's best to like throw them in prison. I mean, it is what it is in that regard. But in terms of like what happens after with the narrative involving Elec and stuff, like just like the Future Trunks story, everyone was like, oh, we have Vegito and da-da-da. But ultimately, it was Trunks that destroyed Merge Zamasu's body. He got rid of his physical essence, right? Before, you know, manifesting himself as the universe and whatnot, before the Omni King had to step in. So Trunks did get his comeuppings by destroying Merge Zamasu's body and just putting an end to that momentarily. So I can see the same thing happening here, where this is Granola's moment. He has to be the one to get the big final blow on the main baddie, which I think is going to be Elec. And I have no doubt that, you know, from a structural standpoint, Goku and Gas are going to have possibly maybe their best fight yet coming up. That depends on, again, if we see Gas use the full extent of his, you know, so-called strongest power in the universe, like if he goes all out against MUI Goku, like that'd be something. Ideally, like I mentioned, I wanted to see Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct versus Gas together. I think not only do you utilize Vegeta's new form from the story, but you also implement more of Goku's UI. We see how they work together. You can have Granola all the while go after Elec, and whatever happens by the end of this, I see Gas losing, and once he loses is the part where I think is going to become interesting, because I don't think Goku's going to kill him, but I think Goku's going to beat him down, and Elec's going to be the one that's going to go, you know, you've always been an embarrassment. You've always embarrassed us. You know, you've turned this into a laughing stock because you were never able to get the job done. You're just a nobody at this point. So I can see him kind of flipping the script and, you know, attacking, you know, Gas, or maybe even if it's revealed that, you know, Elec is the real strongest because of the courtesy of the wish. Because remember, in order for you to become the strongest, you got to give something up. And we don't know what the circumstances or the trade-off was to make Gas the strongest, right? Okay, we saw with Granola, he sacrificed, you know, whatever lifespan he had to become the strongest, but what about Gas? And that's where I feel like, you know, Elec's wish is gonna come into fruition, where this dude is gonna finally reveal like, oh yeah, so by the way, I only made you the strongest in the universe for maybe an hour, and then I had that power be passed back onto me. So stuff like that I can see unfolding, but it really all depends if Gas dies or not. So I don't know, what do you think? Do you see, like, I don't see Goku killing him, but what do you think? Because I think if Gas does, you know, perish and dies, it's gonna be by the hands of his brother. Why? Because of the embarrassments, because of all of the trade-offs that Alec had given him, and just assigning him duties for him to fail those duties. So I can see his brothers just being like, you know what, you're a piece of crap, you were never good to begin with, you kept embarrassing us, off you go. But what do you think in that regard?
I think you made some brilliant points, and even up to there where you said Alec might have his own motive, even not showing what he traded off yet. For all you know, he's been using his brother as a scapegoat and just luring out everybody's powers, weakening them just to see what exactly they can do. And what if he gets the power back? What if, like, after an hour, he knew he was going to lose? He was like, yo, history was going to repeat itself. I already didn't have faith in you, but thank you for showing me all of their weaknesses. Thank you for weakening all of them. Now I can take them all out myself. So that makes the most sense, honestly, if because it's already been planted. Those seeds have been planted, and we even saw Goku say to himself, do you really want to trust this guy? And it almost seems as though, like, your big brother doesn't have your best interests at heart. It may look like that on the surface, but is it really what is happening here? And then on top of that, with him being the strongest in the universe, I mean, we're gonna see. I don't feel like he's gonna win, because it just has to end somehow, and what other way for it to end is just him losing right then and there. And then the arc has to continue for the rest of the year, so there's so much time to be spent on this arc that it doesn't feel like it's gonna stop right here. I feel as though this is just like the middle point, and him being fodderized is gonna have to happen in order for it to continue from here.
Yeah, no, I think that, you know, my final 2 cents for this is it's gonna be UI versus whatever Gas is gonna bring to the table. I think Goku's gonna win. Is it gonna be an easy fight? Probably not, but to that, I think that, you know, Gas is gonna get beaten, but he's not gonna get killed by Goku up until the point where we see Alec. And I think once Alec kind of like establishes the idea like, oh man, you've embarrassed us again, is when, you know, I can see Gas just being like, brother, I'm sorry, like, please. And Alec's like, nah, you let us down far too much. You were assigned simple things after becoming the strongest, and you failed. You keep failing and failing and failing, so the hell with you. So I think that's what's bound to happen, I think, in my opinion.
I think that's a brilliant opinion, and especially after 82 showing how they kind of regressed his character, and especially him getting roasted by all the galactic prisoners. You see a different side to this guy, where it's like, you were humiliated back then, and all these guys know about it, like it's across the galaxy. And let's say you have this much faith in your brother, what if the feeling's not mutual? What if deep down inside he doesn't have that faith in you, and he knew it? And that's what everybody kind of looks at you as. And guess what? Now you're just a scapegoat for the rest of the universe, is to kind of use you as a punching bag for a bit, and then your brother's gonna come in and just really be the big baddie and swoop out and take out the rest of them. So that makes a lot of sense, but I want you guys to let us know in the comment section below, what do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to defeat who, and why? Do you think Gas is going to end up just getting fodderized by Goku here, or his brother? Do you see UI beating him in the next chapters? Do you see Alec turning on his brother? Like I said, the seeds have been planted, and it seems as though that's where it's headed. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell icon. Also, go check out UnrealEntGaming's channel. Link will be in the description. Any last words before we leave, Alex?
I'm just hoping that this is not rushed. Those are my only final words. Do not rush this ending, and that's it. If we don't have a rushed ending, then that'll be great. But if this is a rushed ending and they just end it off the gate, there's no twists, no turns, it's just flat, that's gonna be really bad. But that's just me.
They rushed this, especially with all of this time they're spending, especially in the next chapter to show the flashbacks and flesh that out. Bro, that is going to be the biggest letdown I could possibly imagine. But like I said, guys, hopefully it's not the case. We'll be seeing you guys next time, all right? Take care.